let me just do a little explanation of what's arriving over the next few months. We have many different things happening, and they're going to come in rapid succession. We've been creating programs all year long, but especially in the last 3 months. And I started out last year, August, September, with a commitment to go through 1 year of doing the cycles and seasons on myself and reporting it to other people, inviting people to join. And literally after the first 3 months and then 6 months and 9 months, I saw the benefits and decided to go ahead and reboot the program to do 3 years of an ongoing progress of the use of different strategies. Those strategies, they have to do with self, others, and all, and so on. So I'd like to introduce some of the things that are coming, and it's not limited to these. Personally, I think that these are extraordinary times. They produce extraordinary opportunities, lots of emotional challenges, but these are opportunities for us to grow. So 5 significant things are going to be available by September 1st, with a variety of other things coming soon thereafter. First, it will be the continuation of the program of the protocol, which many people know about and have started to some degree or another, but we will have a detailed program, video, audio, graphics, written information about the protocol. And why that comes first and is so important is that it really applies in all the other programs. So somewhere in there is an acquired, responsible way to feel feelings and how to be able to handle the ever-increasing variety of feelings that will be arriving. That's the protocol. We will explain it in great detail and then be relatively available for somebody in the network of people to explain how to continue it. Then comes the 4 programs that we defined as 4 different columns. These 4 different columns have a combination effect, and you can combine all 4 of them, or you can choose one of them or any combination thereof. So the first part of that is how to use nature to accelerate life force in the body. That's also true for how to increase it in the mind and how to harmonize it on a spiritual level. But the first part of it is how to use it primarily for physical health. So I'm going to give you my best possible program for how to appreciate and harmonize with nature to accelerate the term we'll call life force. Later on, this same program will be applied on a second column, which is how to accelerate the experience of life force by becoming more aware of and sensitive to the circulation of feelings. Life force specifically to the physical, and then the life force combined with feelings, which will accelerate the emotional circulation of life force and feeling through the body. How to do that? With personal responsibility, by identifying iris, birth order patterns, how they apply, and then how to link all of that into cycles and seasons. Now that's a lot. That will incorporate also the use of something we're calling the journal. And the journal will be a calendar that you can download, and you can keep track of your law of attraction events. You can keep track of how well you are utilizing the cycles and seasons, the times of the day. And that leads into the third column, which is how to use all of that at specific points in the year: solstice, equinox, solstice, equinox, how you might use nature, physical health, feelings, emotional circulation and health, combining both of those on the equinox for the theoretic application of utilizing patterns in nature on the equinox to accelerate the circulation of the previous nature family tree dynamics. Yes, that's a lot to consider, that it would be possible to use the equinox, the solstice, as an instrument from nature, because it's naturally occurring, to facilitate the movement of life force and to facilitate the movement of feelings and the polarities between men and women or relationships, because the fourth column is how to use all of this information with other people on other parts of the world. So it's the global friends approach, where we will have the option of being able to become aware of other people on the program who might live in Brazil or Australia, Canada, US, Europe, somewhere. And we know we're practicing, we know they're practicing, and you can either choose to just simply acknowledge their existence, or you might start to develop a communication toward friendship, which is both of you basically acknowledging the other one, not only throughout the year like you would want to acknowledge somebody somewhere else in the world, but maybe also acknowledging them on the solstice and the equinox, and that friends, just operating as friends, can exchange this vitality from the global opposite of the world. Why is this important? Because we are global in reality, and now mankind is doing a global event that has now accelerated the use of global. And so if we start to bring ourselves into harmony with nature and our feelings and our own family tree, and we start to desire to bring ourselves into harmony with cycles and seasons, and also the equinox and solstice, we're actually striving to bring ourselves into harmony with all of it. So if we can choose a friend, and you probably already have some on some other part of the world, and you meet during the equinox, you meet at the time period for them, because they'll be on a different time period than you most likely, and they can meet on the time period for you and support you in the process. So 5 rather interesting programs are coming. Yes, that sounds like a lot. Then there's going to be some specific types of recordings in the next 6 months. One of them will be a very basic 2-hour explanation about how to use iris constitutions for yourself, for your family, for the community, how to use it as a very basic practitioner if you want. It's a basic explanation of iris constitutions. And then that'll also have a second part, which is how to combine that with the birth order. So there'll be a birth order explanation on a basic level, 2 hours, how to use basic birth order, and then combine that with iris. Now, when you do that, you're going to find out that iris constitutions also correspond to body types, glands, organs, grandparents, seasons of the year, and times of the day, phases of, yes, the basics becomes, well, a bit more complicated. But then we're going to have some other recordings. One of my favorites is I'm going to take you through some of the exercises I've taken myself through kinesthetically to learn the constitutions, meaning that there will be, I'll show you what I've done in my body to learn to do stream, jewel, flower, shaker, and how that can be learned kinesthetically. It's a little animated, it's a little wild and crazy, but you gotta be a little crazy to feel the difference between stream and shaker. If you can put both of those in the same place, stream, holding, shaker, dynamics, if you can put both of those in the same place, well, you might begin to have interesting experiences. And yes, another recording I'm going to make, because I've had a few messages I should do so. I'm going to record approximately 20 to 25 significant personal events I've had while utilizing this information and or unusual experiences, cosmic or otherwise, that have come. I'm going to share with you where the iris came from and the birth order and the cycles and seasons. I'm going to share with you some events that I've had in my own life that I've not shared before. And that's all going to be available in one set of videos that you can choose to go there if you want to. There are people who want to know, how did this work materialize, and how did you do this, and why are you doing it? So I'm going to put all of that on a video. Now, this is the beginning of something rather special. And the reason for it is we're going to start this program in September, but we're going to invite people to participate in lots of different ways. One of the ways of participating is to be part of the gathering of data. We would like you to note your prescription of your eyes, what your vision is numerically. Either have your eyes measured or check your own prescription. Go somewhere and check it. Make a note of what it is. In 6 months or next year, we're going to ask you to measure it again to see if there's any changes in the vision. And we're going to ask you to, maybe if you have information available already, to look at your blood chemistry markers. We're going to ask you for some of the numbers, if you have it available from your doctor or you have it in your file, your blood sugar, insulin, creatine protein, triglycerides. And we're going to look at the numbers, measure the numbers, and a year later, after doing the program, what we're going to ask you to do is just be honest to tell us, what did you actually do? Well, you might say, I've done nothing. I've just watched all this. Then let us know that you did nothing. And then if you did just nature, let us know that. If you did 1 and 2, and you did 1, 2, and 3, and you did the equinox, but you didn't do the other ones, just let us know what you actually did. We'd like to invite you to have your own little group where you are, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever it is, and you guide them through these exercises, or you guide them to the videos, and then you help them do what the same thing you're doing. Now, for me, this local group is important because it's local. Local connects you to the things that you're practicing, because I'll do things alone, but if I do things with people around me, physically, socially, in my community, now it's a different effect. If I'm sharing on a community level, I'm sharing on a family level, it has a different effect. If I just do it alone, it has a benefit. If I just do it globally, it has a benefit. But doing it alone, or doing it with family, doing it with community, doing it with people where I live, even in my own country, and then doing it globally, well, I think that there's a benefit to doing on all those levels. So I urge you to consider becoming a local sponsor, and we'll have an explanation for what that looks like in gathering of data. So there's a whole series of things coming, and we're busy producing, with Ed Nelly's help, we're producing graphics and explanations of all this, and there will be testimonials, and there will be bibliographies, there'll be categories for scientific evidence for nature and scientific evidence for the CRISPR and the family tree and the birth order. We'll provide as much information to justify the information and the study. The application really comes down to you. So this is an overview of what's coming. Each one of these topics, we'll break them down into another video, like for example, on the protocol, and we will discuss it more thoroughly. And we'd like to receive any questions that you might have, any doubts that you might have about how to do it. And we'll ask you to post questions on the Rayid Facebook or some other platform that you use. We don't use all the platform, but you're welcome to do that. And you're also welcome to use all of the information, all of the graphics, any of the information we're producing and giving to you. You're liberated to share it with anyone else. If you choose to charge for it, that's your decision. If you choose to make donations to support it, that's your decision. We would like you to have the freedom to use your own conscience about whether you give something back or you give something forward. You can make that decision. We don't want to make that decision for you. We like freedom. We'd like to give freedom. You use your own conscience. So that's what's coming up in the next few months. There is a lot to come. So thank you for being patient in the last 3 or 4 months. I know I've looked like I've been away, but I've been busy, and we've been producing a lot of information, and we're excited about what comes. So thank you for being there. Talk to you soon.